Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ryan Awesome, and welcome to the Ryan Awesome Show. Now, today on the Ryan Awesome Show, I'll be talking about AEW Dynamite for April 21st, 2021. Now, overall, man, it was a good show. It was a good show. It wasn't a perfect show. There were some things that I did question, but it was a good show. Better than last week's show. It was better than last week's show. This show was. The main event was a great match. The TNT Championship with Darby Allin and Jungle Boy, that was a great match. The AEW Women's Championship match was a great match. With Hikaru, Shida, and Conti, that was good. The Pinnacle and the Inner Circle feud that's going on, that was good too during the show. But yeah, man, yeah, we really did have some great matches on this show. You know, so yeah, this is the AEW Dynamite review on the Ryan Awesome Show for April 21st, 2021. And if you haven't done this already, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I said this over and over and over again. I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell so you don't miss out. And so yeah, we started off the show with a match, and it was Ricky Starks, my fellow Louisianian, with Hook in his corner versus Hangman Adam Page with Taz and with Taz on commentary. And so yeah, this match, it was a great match to start off the show with Ricky Starks and Hangman Adam Page. So yeah, we had Hangman Adam Page. He had caught Ricky Starks in midair and power slammed him, or body slammed Ricky Starks. And we had a springboard clothesline to Starks, twice. Not twice. He hit it the first time, he missed, and he tried to go for it for the second time. He had caught him the second time. And then we had an outside crossbody to Starks, and we had a pump handle follow a slam to Ricky Starks. So that was really impressive. And we had Starks at one point. He had tripped up Page into the rope. So Page, he had landed throat first on the rope. And so Starks, he had took control of the match. And we had a German suplex to Starks. And dude, this was scary, man. This was absolutely scary. Like, dude, Hangman Adam Page had caught, Ricky Starks and hit him with a German suplex. And Ricky Starks, he landed right on his neck. He landed right on his neck, and he got up after that. So that dude, I was like, what? Dude, I gasped. I gasped when he landed on his neck. I'm surprised that he got up after that. Cause, dude, a normal person would not get up after that. It looked like he wanted. It looked like he was trying to land on his feet off that German suplex, but he couldn't, and he landed on his neck. So that's what I think that that's what I think that happened. But yeah, man, that was a nasty spot right there. And so yeah, we had Page. He had caught Ricky Starks with a clothesline in midair. And at that point, Starks' ankle was acting up. I think he landed on his ankle weird. And so yeah, we had a brain buster to Starks, and Starks had kicked out. I love the brain buster, man. And we had a power bomb to Page, and he had kicked out. And we had an avalanche follow a slam to Ricky Starks. So Page, man, Page loved those follow away slams, man. And so yeah, we had a lariat to Starks, and then Page, he had missed a buckshot lariat, and then Starks had caught Page with a spear, and then Page had kicked out of the spear. And then to end the match, we had Page, he had locked in a submission move. It was a bulldog choke, kind of like the captain's hook, similar to what D. Brian Kendrick did, used to do when he was in WWE. So yeah, he caught Starks with a chokehold and mixed up with a leg lock. And so Ricky Starks had tapped out. So Adam Hangman Page, he wins the match. And so that was it with that, great match. And so yeah, right after the match, we had Taz, who was on commentary. He had grabbed the mic, and he was talking about Page, telling Page to watch his back. With Page, what you need to do, you need to watch your back. He literally, he was telling him to watch his back, like literally, because Hook had attacked Page from behind, gave him a chop block. And so yeah, and so Hook, he was stomping on Page, beating up Page. And so Ricky Starks, he had joined in on the attack. So Page, Hook and Ricky Starks were ganging up on Page. And so Brian Cage, another member of Team Taz that came out, he walked out to the ring. And so yeah, he had picked up Page and tried to powerbomb him. He was about to powerbomb Page. And so the Dark Order, but the Dark Order had came out and interrupted. So the Dark Order had came out and chased off Team Taz. And at that point, I was like, dude, what? I was like, what took them so long? What took them so long to come out to save Paige? The second that they attacked Paige, they should have came out to the ring, but they waited until Brian Cage come out. So yeah, that was it, man. That was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had a match. We had another match, and it was Pentagon with Alex Abrahantes versus Trent. That's how the ring announcer announced Trent with Orange Cassidy in his corner. And so yeah, this match it was good, but I didn't understand the outcome. I didn't understand the outcome. So yeah, Pentagon he was showing off during the beginning of the match, and then we had a back suplex to Penta, and then we had a tope con hero to Penta, and we had a sling blade to Trent, and Trent had kicked out of it, and we had a tornado DDT to Pentagon, and then we had a springboard Canadian destroyer to Trent. So that was nice. That was a nice spot. And we had a half and half suplex to Penta. And so yeah, we had a running knee to Pentagon and he kicked out. And we had a backstabber to Trent off the second turnbuckle. And we had a pump handle sit out slam to Trent. And we had a power driver to Penta on a ring apron, so that was nasty. And so yeah, we had a spear to Pentagon outside the ring. And so at one point, so Trent he had took control of the match. And so you had Abrahantes, Pentagon's, I guess, translator. He had grabbed the microphone and he said that, he was saying that, Penta says that, like your fans suck, like you suck, and most importantly, your mama suck. So he said that Mama Sue suck. And so Trent, he was pissed off. He was mad. So he had grabbed the chair from the crowd. And so he started chasing Abrahantes around. And so Abrahantes, he had gotten a ring. And so Orange Cassidy had showed up behind Abrahantes, about to put his hands in his pockets. And so Pentagon, he had came out of nowhere and just super kicked Orange Cassidy's head off. And so yeah, and so right after that, you had Abrahantes, he still had the mic in his hand. And so he had hit Trent with the mic. So Abrahantes had hit Trent with the mic behind the referee back. The referee did not see it. And yeah, to end the match, we had Pentagon. He had hit his finishing move, that package power driver to Trent to win the match. So Pentagon he wins the match. And so I was like, dude, why does Pentagon need to cheat, man? He does not need to cheat to win the match. Like, the dude is too good to be cheating. And then another thing, dude. At first, I was like, dude, like, is Pentagon a heel or a babyface? Because weeks and weeks and weeks ago, he was a babyface. Teaming up with Pac and Ray Phoenix against Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Like, dude, I was like, dude, is he a heel or a babyface? Because at first, he was swapping back and forth between heel and babyface. At first, he was a heel, feuding with Cody Rhodes. And then he turned into a babyface, feuding with Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers and the rest of the Elite. And now he's a heel now. So I was like, dude, right after the match, I was like, you know what? Yeah, he's a heel. He's a heel. And then he was acting heelish in his match. Heelish in his match. So I was like, you know what? Yeah, he's a heel. But what's next for the Death Triangle? With the Death Triangle with Ray Phoenix and Pac, like, what are they gonna do with them? Are they gonna turn them heel, or what? I don't know. Because they might have a problem with Pentagon, so they might be angry at Pentagon, so they might be going after Pentagon. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. So yeah, that was it with the match. It was a great match, but the ending though, I was really confused with the ending. And so yeah, right after that we had JR, good old JR, Jim Ross. He interviews the Pinnacle.
Like the AEW world is buzzing as we count down the days to Blood and Guts. With that in mind, recently, in the middle of the ring, Chris Jericho with the Inner Circle had some very fiery words to say. Many of them pointed out, not only all you guys, especially you, MJF. What's your reaction to Jericho's interview that we heard on Dynamite just a few weeks ago?
It wasn't just an interview, Jim. I recall you called it the Immortal promo, correct? Chris, you might have got one thing right about the scarf. Well, not about the fact that I, quote-unquote, stole it from you. I've been rocking Burberry flannel since I was on the Rosie O'Donnell show. But this particular scarf, man, I mean, it's old, it's haggard. Plus, springtime, and War Dog, you know what that means. I believe Tully got me a gift. By the way, Tully is home right now, writing up the plays for Blood and Guts.
He certainly did. Tully said, that it's silk season, Max.
Give him a new scarf.
Thank you, sir.
This thing.
It's so, see, it's just, oh, God.
It looks the same though.
I love it. I'll take it from
It's
here,
like a
baby.
scene out of a John Wayne movie. Almost.
Talk to the people, War Dog.
Oh, it's nice.
Oh, Wardlow about to
Chris
speak.
Jericho. You called that the Immortal promo?
Something like that, big fella.
Wouldn't that mean it was the perfect promo? You see, it almost was. Jericho, one of the best promos in the game, right? Not quite as good as Max here, but good. You cut one of the best promos of your entire career, which is saying a hell of a lot. Until you got to me. Stumbled your words a little when you got to me, didn't you, Chris?
Oh yeah.
Because the moment Wardlow came out of your mouth, you knew you were doing something wrong.
Chris Jericho, the first ever AEW World Champion, the most charismatic man in professional wrestling for decades, the GOAT, the man who's been leading this industry, Jim, for years. That is, until now. Now, you stand in front of a bunch of B's so you look like an A, you wrestle a bunch of A's so you don't look like a B, and when it comes to elevating the talent around you, Christopher, I'm gonna have to give you a big fat F. The Jericho rub. It apparently consists of intentionally trying to wrestle against people the fans already want to see and then claiming their popularity is all because of you. Just going to throw some examples out there. I don't know. Kenny Omega, Hangman Adam Page, Cody Rhodes, Jon Moxley, Orange Cassidy, and now, moi. Smart, Chris. I don't blame you. And of course it's smart. For 30 years, you've been outsmarting every single person who's crossed your path. That is, team at me. I'm the one guy you couldn't outsmart. I'm the one guy you couldn't hold underneath your thumb. And why is that? It's because I'm Maxwell Jacob Friedman. And I'm not great for 25. No, actually, Chris, that's horse shit! I'm great, period. When you were 25, you were curtain jerking on Worldwide. Me, I'm a top guy, and I'm hanging around top guys. We are the best faction in professional wrestling today. The Pinnacle, not the Inner Circle. And we are also all winners. Speaking of winners, I am undefeated, which is why I found it oh so peculiar, Christopher, when you claim that I shouldn't say I'm better than anyone until I can prove I'm better than the likes of Brandon Cutler or perhaps Michael Nakazawa. Right? Yeah, that's interesting, Chris, because if my memory serves me correctly, I already beat you.
That's true. That's right.
So interesting. Wonder where that puts me on the totem pole, huh, bud? I guess that would make me better than you, and you know it. But how about you prove me wrong, Chris? Instead of sending out that stooge of yours, Mike Tyson, to sucker punch my brothers in arms, you send out your family, I send out mine, and you beat us. And Chris, for the sake of pride and pride alone, please try to beat me, because Lord knows I'm going to be trying to do the same. Because if you got one thing right in that cute little immortal promo of yours, it's that I am a mark. But I'm not a mark for you. I'm a mark for your spot. And on May 5th at Blood and Guts, along with my family, I'm going to take it. Because when you are in the pinnacle, you're always on top.
Yep. And that was it. And that was it. Great promo from MJF, man. Great promo, man. And he made some valid points, man. He really did. He did beat Chris Jericho. He did beat him. You know, what pay-per-view was that? If MJF won, he would have joined the Inner Circle. Yeah, he beat Chris Jericho. You know, so that proves that he's better than Chris Jericho. So yeah, with the Blood and Guts match with MJF, the Pinnacle guys versus the Inner Circle, the Pinnacle is gonna win. The Pinnacle will win. It ain't gonna make no sense to have them, a new faction, lose. It's not gonna make any sense to have the Pinnacle lose in the Blood and Guts match to the Inner Circle. It's not gonna make any sense. Like right after you debut a new group to have them lose. Like when you debut in a new group, the new group should win. So the Pinnacle should win. So that's why the Pinnacle will win. And so yeah, that was it with that. And the Pinnacle and the Inner Circle. And so yeah, right after that we had a match, and it was for the AEW Women's Championship. So yeah, this was a great match. This was a really good match. And so yeah, it was Ty Conti versus Hikaru Shida, the AEW Women's Champion. And so yeah, so at first they were going back and forth with strikes. We had a PK kick, two PK kicks to Shida, and Shida had kicked out of it. And we had a submission move to Shida, and she had grabbed the rope and she had rolled out of the ring. And so, Conti was going after Shida. And so yeah, Shida, she had tripped up Conti on the ring apron. So Conti had fell on the ring apron. And so yeah, she had hit a knee strike to Conti. And so yeah, we had an enziguri kick to Conti outside the ring. And we had a brain buster to Conti on the floor. It looked like a suplex, but the commentary team said it was a brain buster. And so yeah, we had a submission move, a series of submission moves to Conti. And then Conti had fought out of it. And so she had took control during a commercial break, picture in picture. They love that picture in picture. And so yeah, we had a corner knee strike to Conti right in the face. And we had a pump kick to Shida. And we had a German suplex. We had a German suplex to Shida. And we had a pump kick in a corner to Hikaru Shida. And so yeah, we had a running corner boot to Shida. And we had a senton. We had a senton bomb to Shida's back. So this is a nice spot. So yeah, Shida, she was on the top rope. She was laying on the top rope. And so Conti. So yeah, Conti, she was on the top rope and she had hit a senton bomb on Shida's back while Shida was laying on the top of the rope. So that was a nice spot. And so yeah, we had a jumping knee to Conti, and she followed that up with a Falcon's arrow. And so Conti, she had kicked out. I thought that was it because she usually hit the Falcon arrow and she usually wins the match. But Conti had kicked out of it. And so yeah, Shida at one point she had dropped Conti on her back on the top rope. She had a fireman's carry position. And so she had jumped off the top rope and just let, Conti go. And Conti just landed on her back on the turnbuckle. So that was nasty. And so yeah, we had a pump kick to Shida. And we had a tie KO to Shida, and Shida had kicked out of it. And then we had Shida, she had hit the Dude Buster. She had a Dude Buster to Conti, and Conti had kicked out. And so they were going back and forth for strikes again. And we had a fireman's carry into a backbreaker to Shida. It was to Conti. And to end the match, we had a Hikaru Shida. She had a finishing move, the Katana, to Conti to win the match. So Hikaru Shida wins the match and is still the AEW Women's Champion. So yeah, this is a really good match. You kind of knew that Shida was going to retain the title because that title was going right to Britt Baker. It is going right to Britt Baker. And so yeah, speaking of Britt Baker, right after the match, Britt Baker, she had came out to her theme music. And so on the screen, they had a picture of the rankings list or the ranking system. And so Britt Baker, she was number one. She was the number one contender. So she was reminding Hikaru Shida that, hey, I'm the number one contender and I'm going after your title. And so yeah, that was it with that. And whenever the match will be, whatever the championship match will be, Britt Baker, she will win. She will win the match because she had an opportunity. She had opportunity at the AEW Women's Championship, and she failed. She lost. So this time, Britt Baker, she will win. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so yeah, right after that, we had Miro, and he spoke.
Another week and no Kip. I hate unresolved business. It just eats me alive after a while, which is why I came here in the first place. I need my vindication. So I don't care who you are. I don't care if you walk around backstage with your slimy impact mouth or with your emo face paint daddy. You got a title, you got a problem. So this company can put me through all the hoops and diversions they want, but they cannot keep me from my destiny any longer. So I guess the real question now is, what champion do I beat first?
So yeah, that was it. So Miro, he wants to challenge a champion. He want to go after a championship. So whether it's Darby Allin or Kenny Omega, I'm gonna tell you this right now. He is not going after Kenny Omega. You are not going after Kenny Omega because you will lose. You will lose. Anybody going after Omega will lose. Now he have a better shot at winning the TNT Championship. And then first off, dude, you need to get some wins first. You need to get some wins first before you go after a championship. Beat some guys first. Beat somebody or beat people to get a championship match. Because, dude, we're not gonna just hand no championships out to you. We're not gonna hand no championship opportunities out to you. You're gonna have to earn it, man. You know that. And so yeah, so my best guess or the best option for Miro to do is to go after Darby Allin in the TNT Championship. Because I'm telling you this right now, if he go after Omega, if Miro go after Kenny Omega, he will not win. He will not win because nobody is taking that title off of Omega. Nobody. And so yeah, that was it with Miro. And so yeah, right after that, we had Tony Schiavone. He interviews the Inner Circle. And so yeah, there's Chris Jericho, Sammy Guevara, Jake Hager, and Proud and Powerful, Santana and Ortiz. And so yeah, they were talking about the Pinnacle, in their match with Blood and Guts. And they were, making threats to the Pinnacle guys. And so yeah, Chris Jericho was, singing a song about MJF and everything. And so yeah, right after that, Chris Jericho, he said that Inner Circle and the Pinnacle guys will be face to face.
For you, MJF, face to face, it's going to be the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle having an old-fashioned parlay.
Old-fashioned parlay. That's what it was.
A parlay is when two opposing armies meet in the ring and discuss battle plans. But here's my battle plan for you, MJF. I don't have to wait till next week. I want to say this really kind so you can hear me. At Blood and Guts, MJF, I am going to beat the living hell out of you. You understand me? And if you think that's a line from drama class Oliver Twist, think again, because we are crazier than you, and you know it. And like I said, the worst is yet to come. May 5th at Blood and Guts, and God help you, he better own your soul, because on May 5th at Blood and Guts, the Inner Circle owns your ass.
And that was it. And so yeah, May 5th. So that's Wednesday, May 5th. So it's gonna be on Dynamite. So I'm guessing, well, of course it's gonna be the main event. But at first I thought it was gonna be at a pay-per-view. But I would have saved it for the pay-per-view. Because this is a big match. Why put it on Dynamite when you could put it on a pay-per-view? Maybe Double or Nothing, because I know that's coming up and it's usually in May. So I would have put that on Double or Nothing, had that main event the show. Because that's a big match, man. Blood and Guts. It's probably like a War Games. That's what I'm guessing. It's probably like War Games. But yeah. So yeah, that's what I would have done. I would have saved it for Double or Nothing on May. But yeah, and and the Pinnacle will win. So yeah, that was it with that. And so right after that, we had a match, and it was a one-on-one match. It was Billy Gunn versus QT Marshall with the Factory in his corner. That's Nick Comoroto and Aaron Solo with Anthony Ogogo. He was not there. So Anthony Ogogo, he was not ringside, but he did play a part towards the match. And so yeah, so Gunn, he attacked the Factory during their entrance. And so yeah, Gunn, he had took control of QT. He took control of the match. There really wasn't much into this match. And so Gunn, he had took control of the match. And so from behind, you had Comoroto and Aaron Solo. They attacked Billy Gunn from behind. And so Austin and Colton Gunn, who were in the crowd, sitting in the crowd, they attacked the Factory guys. And so they had fought them off into the back. And so yeah, we had a power driver to Gunn, and Gunn had kicked out of it. And so Gunn, he was fighting back, hitting strikes on QT. And so this is when Anthony Ogogo, he had came out to the ring. He had walked out to the ring. Billy Gunn, he was outside of the ring. And so he had gave Billy Gunn a gut punch. So he punched him right in the gut. And so, yeah, so Billy Gunn, they brought him back into the ring. And so QT, he had hit the diamond cutter on Billy Gunn to win the match. So that was it. So QT Marshall wins the match. And so right after the match, we had Anthony Ogogo. He went under the ring, and he had grabbed like a small wooden chair, and he had threw it into the ring, gave it to QT. And so QT had the chair in his hand. He was about to hit Billy Gunn with the chair, and then Dustin Rhodes had came out with his theme music. Why? I don't know, dude. Just run out to the ring. Why do these people need their theme music to hit? Just run to the ring. And so yeah, so Dustin Rhodes, he had came out with a bull rope. And so yeah, he took out QT with the bull rope and everything. And so Dustin, he had grabbed the wooden chair that QT had earlier, And so, yeah, he was about to hit QT with it, but Anthony Ogogo had distracted Dustin Rhodes, and so Nick Comoroto tried to attack Dustin Rhodes from behind, and so Dustin Rhodes had, sidestepped him and everything, and so Dustin Rhodes he hit Nick Comoroto with the chair over the head, so the chair had shattered. The chair had shattered, and Nick Comoroto was still standing up. It didn't even phase him. He no-sold it. He no-sold that chair shot, and he was still standing up, just had this angry look on his face at Dustin Rhodes. And so that was it with that. That was it with that. And so the referees had to break them up, separate these two, and that was it. So, yeah, right after that, we had the Elite. They spoke. Kenny by God Omega, the AEW World Champion, and Don Callis, the Young Bucks, who are the AEW World Tag Team Champions, met Nick Jackson, and the Good Brothers, Doc Gallows and Karl Anderson. And so, yeah, at first they were talking about, they were talking smack and everything. They were talking about their success, the startup of AEW. The E stand for Elite because they are the Elite. And they were talking about Kenny Omega, saying that Kenny Omega will become the new Impact World Champion at Rebellion, which is this Sunday, which I will be reviewing and watching on Sunday. And they said that Kenny Omega will become the new Impact World Champion. And so they were still talking. And so, yeah, and then they were in the trailer. They were in the trailer and they were talking. And so right after that, you heard a horn. A horn had honked in the background like over and over and over again. And so, the Elite, they were annoyed about it. They're like, dude, can somebody go out there and tell this guy to shut up? And so the camera had went to the back, went outside the trailer, and it was Jon Moxley. It was Jon Moxley and Eddie Kingston. They were in a truck, like a big truck, not like a monster truck, but it was a big truck. And so Jon Moxley, he was driving the truck, and Eddie Kingston, he was sitting on the passenger side. And so Jon Moxley, he had drove the truck into the trailer, and obviously the Good Brothers, obviously the Elite, they weren't in there, so they had ran into the trailer. They got out of the car, and they just started to destroy it. They were looking for the Bucks and Omega and the Good Brothers. They were looking for them. And so, yeah, they got out there. They went into the trailer, and nobody was there. Nobody was there. So they were mad, and they started, Jon Moxley had a pipe in his hand. He started smashing the windows with the pipe, and that was it. And so, yeah, right after that, we had a match, and it was Will Powerhouse Hobbs, or Powerhouse Hobbs. Why not just call him Will Powerhouse Hobbs, or Powerhouse Will Hobbs? Why not just call him that instead of Powerhouse Hobbs versus Christian Cage? So, yeah, this is a really good match. And so, yeah, Hobbs, he was, at one point, Hobbs, he had slung Christian Cage out of the ring. And then Hobbs, he had overpowered Cage. And then Cage, he had slapped Hobbs in the face, and he had ran away from Will Hobbs. And so, yeah, he had a basement drop kick on Will Hobbs. And we had a clubbing blow. We had a clubbing blow to the back of Christian Cage's head. And then Hobbs, he had threw Cage into the crowd. He threw him into the crowd. And so Hobbs, he had, exposed the guardrail and everything, took the cover off the guardrail and started smearing his face into the guardrail. And so Hobbs, he had took control during the commercial break, picture in picture. And so, yeah, Hobbs, he had threw Cage stroke first on the bottom rope. And so Hobbs, he outpowers the kill switch. So at one point, Christian Cage, he was going for the kill switch, but Hobbs had overpowered it. And so, yeah, Hobbs, he was continuing to throw around Christian Cage. And so, yeah, Cage, he ended up fighting back. He had a flying European uppercut to Hobbs, and Hobbs had kicked out of it. And we had Hobbs, he had a spine buster, a beautiful spine buster to Christian Cage, and Cage had kicked out. I love the spine buster, man. And so, yeah, we had a powerbomb to Hobbs off the second rope. And then he followed up with a frog splash, and Hobbs had kicked out. And so Hobbs, he ended up fighting back. He had a hip attack on Cage, and Cage had kicked out. And so Cage, he had locked in a sleeper hold on Hobbs. Hobbs had overpowered it again. And so, yeah, he was going for his finishing move, that running power slam. I forgot what he called it, but they did mention it on commentary, but I forgot the name. And so, yeah, he was running around, and he started showing off, which was a mistake. He was showing off, never show off in the ring with a veteran. And so, yeah, so Christian Cage, he had, fought out of the power slam and just hit the kill switch on Will Hobbs to win the match. So Christian Cage, he wins the match, and that was it, man. Great match, great showing from Christian and Will Hobbs. Hobbs looked strong, and Christian, he done a great job at making Hobbs look strong. And so, yeah, that was it with that. And so, yeah, right after that, we had Jade Cargill, and she spoke.
me give you the scoop. Every manager here at AEW is looking to sign me, Jade Cargill, the hottest star right now.
She has a lot of confidence.
I would love to represent Jade Cargill for a week,
Matt Hardy.
of course.
Cargill has her up, jaded.
Jade Cargill would be the perfect
Vicky Guerrero.
fit for my stable. Women that are empowered and strong and love championships.
See, I'm Jade Cargill. I don't need a manager. I'm my own boss. And if anybody here at AEW is looking to sign me, they better make me a hell of a deal.
So yeah, that was it. That was it with Jade Cargill. So every manager, the managers want Jade Cargill. Me, well, there's part of me saying that Jade Cargill, she doesn't need a manager because she can speak for herself. She can speak really well for herself. And then other parts of me say that I want to see her in a group. I want to see her in a group. And the group, you know, if they do put her in a group, I want to see her with Team Taz. I think she'll fit with Team Taz. You know, have that female presence. You know, she looked like she'll fit with the group because she, you know, she's strong, she's powerful. You know, she's good looking and everything. You know, and she just look like you just stand them. You just stand her side by side with, you know, with Hobbs and Cage and Ricky Starks and Hook and Taz. She'll look good with them. You know. But I don't know what they're gonna do with her. But yeah, I guess we'll wait and see. And so yeah, that was it with that. And so next week's show for AEW Dynamite, we have. So next week is gonna be Pentagon. It's gonna be Pentagon with Alex Abrahantes in his corner versus Orange Cassidy with Trent in his corner. So that's next week. And we have Chris Statlander. We have Chris Statlander with Orange Cassidy in our corner versus Penelope Ford with Kip Sabian in her corner. And so, yeah, also next week we have the AEW World Tag Team Champions, the Young Bucks. That's Matt and Nick Jackson versus the Sydal brothers, Matt and Mike Sydal. And that's next week. And we have a 6-man tag match, and it's the Nightmare Family. That's Dustin Rhodes, Lee Johnson, and Billy Gunn versus The Factory with Anthony Ogogo in their corner. So it's QT Marshall, Nick Comoroto, and Aaron Solo with Anthony Ogogo in their corner. And also next week, it will be the Inner Circle and the Pinnacle Parlay, which is next week. And also we have Brian Cage with Team Taz in his corner. That's Taz and Ricky Starks versus Hangman Adam Page, and that's next week. So yeah, that's the card for next week. And so yeah, right after that was the main event. And it was for the TNT Championship, which was the best match on the show. And it was Jungle Boy with Luchasaurus in his corner versus Darby Allin, the TNT Champion, with Sting in his corner. And so yeah, from the start of the match, we had, you know, they were going back and forth, counter after counter. You know, they were trying to, you know, out wrestle each other, but Jungle Boy, he got the better of it. And so yeah, both men, they were fighting outside the ring, and then they both threw each other into the crowd. And then, you know, they were fighting through in a commercial break. And so we had a superplex to Jungle Boy, which was a nice looking superplex. And we had an overhead belly-to-belly suplex to Darby Allin in the corner, so that had to hurt. And so we had a German suplex to Darby, followed up by a Tiger suplex to Darby. He kicked out. And we had a Stunt Dog Millionaire to Jungle Boy. He kicked out. And we had a body scissors Rana. It looked like he wanted to go put a poison Rana, but it looked like a body scissors turned into a Rana, like a spike Rana. And so yeah, we had two Tope Suicidas to Darby Allin, followed up by a Tope Con Hero to Darby Allin. And so we had a guillotine choke to Jungle Boy on a rope. And then Darby, you know, so yeah, Darby, you know, he was fighting dirty. He was fighting dirty during this match by using the ropes. And so we had a coffin drop to Jungle Boy on a ring apron. So yeah, that was a nice spot. You know, dude, when I saw that spot, I was thinking about the coffin drop that he almost hit on Cody Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes had moved out of the way. I was thinking about that spot. So yeah, but he caught Jungle Boy with the coffin drop on the ring apron. And so yeah, Jungle Boy, you know, Jungle Boy, he was out of the ring. Referee was counting to 10. And so Luchasaurus, he was outside the ring too. And so Jungle Boy, he had grabbed onto Luchasaurus, you know, to help himself up. But Luchasaurus, he was not helping up Jungle Boy, you know, because Luchasaurus, he did not want to get involved in the match. And so, which would have been a heel move. But yeah, he grabbed on Luchasaurus' shirt. No, not his shirt. He grabbed on his pants and everything. And so yeah, he had got picked himself up and then got back into the ring. And so Sting and everybody else thought that that Luchasaurus had helped up Jungle Boy, but actually he didn't. He didn't help him up. And so yeah, so Jungle Boy he made it back into the ring at 9. And so Luchasaurus, he was cheering on Jungle Boy, and then Sting had attacked. He attacked Luchasaurus for no reason. For no reason. And so yeah, so Luchasaurus and Sting they were fighting each other, and they fought each other into the back. So they were fighting into the back, and so they're out of the match. And so we had a lariat to Darby, and we had a brain buster to Darby. And so yeah, Jungle Boy he had locked in his submission move, the snare trap, to Darby Allin, and Allin had grabbed the rope, and he had locked in the snare trap again. But Darby he had gouged that Jungle Boy's eyes, which is a heel move. I guess is a heel move, but you gotta do what you gotta do to win your championship. You gotta do what you have to do to retain your championship. And so yeah, we had to end the match. We had Darby Allin. He had hit his finishing move, that last supper, the last supper he calls it. It's a mousetrap. It's nothing but it's like a pinfall. That's what it is, a pinfall. But it was like a mousetrap. It was a mousetrap. They call it the mousetrap. Last supper to Jungle Boy to win the match. So Darby Allin he wins the match and is still the TNT champion. And so yeah, right after the match, we had Scorpio Sky. Scorpio Sky and Ethan Page they attacked Darby Allin and Jungle Boy. Ganging up on them. And so Lance Archer had came out to save the day. And he took out Sky and Page. And so Sky and Page they ended up giving Lance Archer a double kick to the nuts. So they low blow Lance Archer. And so so they ended up attacking Lance Archer. And so right after that we had Sting. He had walked out with his baseball bat and he just scared off. He had chased off Page and Sky. And that was it. And that was it. That was it. And so yeah, great match. The ending was kind of cheesy and everything with the attacks and everything. It was kind of cheesy at the end, but the match itself, it was good. It was a really good match. And yeah, man, that was it. That was it with AEW Dynamite. The AEW Dynamite review for April 21st, 2021 on The Ryan Awesome Show. And if you like this video, man, what are you waiting for, man? Hit the thumbs up. Hit the thumbs up. And if you're new here, hit that subscribe button. And right next to that subscribe button, there's a bell. Make sure you click on that bell so you'll be the first ones to know when my next video will come out, because I said this over and over and over and over again. I am here each and every single week. So make sure you subscribe to the channel and you turn on that bell for all notifications so you don't miss out. Follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. And comment down below, man. Tell me how you felt about this episode of AEW Dynamite. And yeah, man, follow me on Twitter at Ryan Awesome Show. Comment down below. Share this video with each and every single person that you come across. And yeah, man, I'll see you guys on Thursday. Thursday for Impact Wrestling. And this is the go home show for Impact Wrestling before Rebellion, which is this Sunday, which I will be watching. So Impact Wrestling. Tomorrow I'll see you guys for Impact Wrestling. And if you missed my last week's episode or my last week's review for AEW Dynamite, the video is going to be right up here in this corner. It's going to be right up here. And the link to that video will be down below in the description, down below. And yeah, man. And once again, guys, thank you for the support. Thank you, and thank you. And this has been The Ryan Awesome Show. Take care, stay safe, and that's that.